A lot of companies have policies for their purchasing department where they have to put out bids and then they can only buy from the lowest bid. So the question for you is, are you running your life the same way? Hey guys, back with another episode. I've got the camera on for you YouTube guys so we can share it with you. Welcome to the podcast. And this topic of accepting the lowest bid. I have a consulting client I work with, company has that policy. Everything they buy, they gotta submit 3 bids and then they buy from the lowest bid. Which is just a horrific policy in my mind. Like we were at a deadline, right? We were building out a kit that gets sent to people who join the company. And I wanted to include a pen. And but we were on deadline. They had to get these things produced by a certain date so they could be shipped to the warehouse to be in stock and in the system and everything. And the whole thing was grinding to a halt because they told me, no, we're waiting to get 2 of the other bids back for the pens, which literally pennies. But the system is held hostage to that. And the conversation I had frequently with their CEO is, hey, we got to change this culture here of everything gets bought at the cheapest possible price. Like I would create, I would ask him to produce swag for the distributors, T-shirts and shaker bottles and coffee mugs and workout gear and stuff. And people would be afraid to buy this stuff because it was so cheap. The T-shirts, you'd wash them one time and they would shrink and the seams would be crooked or whatever because they sourced it from the cheapest place. That's no way to live, that's no way to run a company. And it's especially no way to run your life. What do I mean by this? When you buy a condo in a building, the 5th floor costs more than the 1st floor. The 10th floor costs more than the 5th floor. The penthouse costs more than the 10th floor. The higher up you go, even though it's the same exact square footage, the same exact layout, why does the price go up? Because the view, the beauty of the view goes up. At some point, you're looking at other buildings or you're looking at parking lots with dumpsters. At other points, you're looking at the bay or the ocean, or you're looking at the vista of the cities or the vista of the mountains, depending on where it is. Yes, there's a price to go at a higher floor, and sometimes it's a good idea to pay that price. You get on an airplane, you want to fly home to visit grandma. You can fly in just a despicable, filthy, decrepit carrier airline like Spirit Airlines. You could fly economy in a real airline. You could fly economy plus. You could fly business. You could fly first class. You could fly private. There's arguments that could be made for each step in that process. Your home, this is the biggest investment for most people. It's also probably the investment that impacts your health, happiness, and prosperity the most. The environment where you spend the majority of your time. So whether it's buying in a neighborhood where it's safe that your kids could be playing in the yard, instead of having to worry about a drive-by shooting, or the spaciousness of the house, the number of bathrooms in the house, the quality of the kitchen, there are arguments could be made. The car you buy or lease, right? We know the whole spectrums from, Geo Metros to Lamborghini Murcielagos or McLarens or get the name of the other one. Right? There can be arguments made along that spectrum. And then take your diet. the food you eat and how that affects your prosperity. So now here's the thing. I really thought long and hard about this episode, because I don't want it to come off as superficial. I don't want it to come across as me preaching and telling you what to do or how to live your life. As always, my goal is to get you to think about this, and whatever the issue is each episode, to think about it perhaps in a way that you haven't thought about it before. There is a certain consciousness that develops, right? You can get the consciousness of the coupon commandos, where you only make every decision on whether it's the pizza you order or the carpet you're going to buy for your home or the place you're going to get your car washed, and it's all about the coupon. Who has the best coupon? Even with the food, right? How many people buy the food that they consume, that the food that is the raw ingredients that build your cells, which build your health, and you're doing it on the whichever coupon gives you the biggest discount. And then there's a mentality of always feeling like you have to extract a concession. So somebody's wants to give you, you're talking to an accountant or an attorney or a doctor or a dentist or a chiropractor or a massage therapist or a iridologist or a therapist, and you want to negotiate the price. And then, or they have a set price and you say, yeah, but if I pay that, can I get this for free? You just feel this psychological directive that you've got to extract a concession from the other party before you will make a purchase agreement. That's just poverty consciousness, and it doesn't serve you. And if you have that consciousness of always seeking the lower bid. So when I say that I thought about this long and hard, and I don't want to preach and be judgmental or tell you, frame this in the wrong way. The context, I hope the way this lands with you is, I just want you to be mindful of how you make those choices. Because I get, if you're making $20,000 a year in the US or $8,000 a year in Mexico, you're not probably flying first class when you're going home to visit grandma. I get it. I didn't fly first class the first times I was on airplanes. I was in row 36 in the middle seat across from the lab. You know what I mean? You do what you got to do to grow your consciousness, to grow the value that you can offer the world, and that expands the prosperity you attract to you, and then you get the option to make better choices. So here's the two rules I will give you that I believe create a prosperous outcome. Rule number one is be prudent. If you are making $20,000 a year, it probably is not a prudent idea to pay $3,000 for an airplane ticket first class to go home and see grandma. You probably should buy an economy ticket until you are able to manifest more prosperity in your life. You may see an amazing piece of art that just speaks to your soul. It's so beautiful, like that piece of art I have over there that spoke to my soul. And as soon as I saw it in the gallery, I said, I need that in my home. I need that beauty every day. Why do I have fresh flowers all around my house? I want that beauty in my homes, in my environment, everywhere I go. But I'm prudent about it. I saw an amazing painting at Art Basel one year, and I was like, oh my goodness, I love that painting. I need that in my living room. And then I saw the price was $800,000, and I said, you know what? This wouldn't be prudent for me right now to spend $800,000 of my net worth on a painting, no matter how beautiful it is. But here's rule number 2 that is inextricably connected to rule number 1. Rule number 2 is mindfully choose when to be extravagant. Please, I'm begging you, don't base your life on the bid, accepting the lowest bid. There are areas of your life, it may be your home, like for me, self-development. There is no rules on my self-development budget. There is no amount of money that's taboo for me for a book, for a seminar, for an event that I'm going to go to, a learning experience. There's no, I don't set budgets for that. That's the unlimited budget. I don't set budgets for my health, right? If there's something I need for my health, I will rearrange my priorities to make sure that I'm able to buy that operation or that treatment or that whatever. I mean, and that started when I was broke and I made the decision that I would buy organic fruits and vegetables instead of ones filled with pesticides and other carcinogens. And it was a stretch for me, and I had to reprioritize other things in my life and make sacrifices because I wasn't wealthy in any context. I was very poor. I was broke. But I made that a priority, right? So that's the second part of it is be mindful on where, what, maybe like me, I was a comic book fanatic and I loved collecting comic books and reading them and studying the artwork and, I had artists that I followed that I just loved. So I collected comic books, right? It wasn't a necessity. It was money that I could have used for other things. I could have been more realistic, more sensible, but don't live your entire life being sensible. Find the area. So maybe it's your car. Maybe it's the vacations you take. Maybe it's the time that you spend with the loved ones in your life that you sacrifice in other areas. So find the things that really enhance your prosperity and don't be afraid to be extravagant with them. Reprioritize the other things. So be prudent, number 1, and mindfully figure where to be extravagant, number 2. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you accept it in the intention that I'm sharing it with you. And as always, I love to hear your thoughts. I'm pretty much off social media. I'm still on Twitter, but it seems to be a dying platform, so I'm not there nearly as much as I used to be. So the blog is the best place to get in touch with me, or this YouTube channel. Put in the comments, and I love to hear from you. What's your thoughts on this? And then remember, please like, subscribe, and share, and let's spread this message of prosperity. All right, go out and have an amazing day. Peace. Love you guys.